I've got to grab it as. This is called Dictionary. I was looking up knave and got distracted, ended up looking up knickers instead. One explanation told me I was a scamp and a scoundrel, but not to mention a reprobate and a rogue. The other told me briefly and succinctly that I was interested in women's undergarments, covering the lower trunk and having legs or leg holes. Suddenly it wasn't interesting as just pure fact, and I thought of that special je ne sais quoi that you bring to that kind of thing, and of how you could make a saint sit. My cat, I was, in the previous life I was my cat, and that's as good as it got. But in my cat's previous life, she was Cleopatra, so I was looking into her eyes one day, and this is what it's called, As Above, So Below. Death manifests itself. Are you my death? Cleopatra asks. Ask the asp. Death laughs. Are you my death? Cleopatra asks. Don't ask, whispers the asp, as the candle flame flickers and the silence kisses the dark.
Wow.
This is called Mothering Instinct. This is a sad poem. Tears. Tears well but don't fall. Bottom lip trembles, top lip quivers, and just before she can begin to howl, I howl. I open my mouth and bawl. Stunned, she stares at my open mouth with nothing but sobs coming out. I'm crying because you were gonna cry. I manage to blurt out, trying not to laugh behind my crocodile tears. She climbs up on my lap, a sturdy little foot on each patella, wipes my fake tears away with her hair. Oh, Donall, Donall, not cry. Big pie, not cry. Silly Donall, cry. Shh. She shushes me, kissing at me, guilty of unleashing my 4-year-old's mothering instinct. I'm staying with mums. This is called Old Taffeta and Tull. Frightened by the storm, he crawls under his mother's skirts, Old Taffeta and Tull, clinging to her ankles before falling asleep upon her feet. She continues playing her cards right, winning all before her as the candles gutter and almost go out. She remembers her body wrapped about him, her flesh protecting his innocence, as now her dress encloses his sleeping, unconsciously stroking his hair with her left foot, his dreams now pooled at her feet. And this is called Barefoot. I'm going to see my dad in Ireland. He's it'd be nice to see him. Long time since I saw him. I follow the road of my father's voice, journey with him along white roads over green fields, barefoot to school and back, shoes of it all worn only to church, picking up the cuts and scabs, stubbed toes his going to school would entail in the early years of the 1920s. Only so much history to me, real to him. His toes knowing the wind and the grass for what it is, his toes clasping a rock, fording a stream, Irish and poems bubbling through his head, babbling along the tongue, words thrown to those lost summer skies, startling a blackbird spouting his poetry with a poetry of his own. 3 miles to school, 3 miles back. His mind a skim stone dancing along a river over unforgiving stones, thorns attacking his feet with undisguised relish, the vehemence of glass glinting greedily for the next footstep, the menace of the twisted rusty nail, and his treachery betraying the next footfall as he walks over the unremitting years, into my eyes wide with wonder, listening to him tell of himself as a little boy, to his little boy, the me of then. My eyes now following the road of my father's voice as it wanders barefoot through my tears and memory.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This is my little girl again, called The Present Moment. She offers me the gift, inexpertly and awkwardly wrapped, Christmas paper in July. Water drips from its centre. I open it up and I'm greeted by a stone, a bunch of grass with roots still attached, and 2.5 twigs, a half-crazy bug who just happened to be caught up in it. It's a present of here. I thanked her and she trundled off, telling her dolly called Dolly, see, I know him, told you he'd like it. And finally, this is a poem called Daddy. Always your love everywhere around me, tangible and intangible, as when sound becomes music, As a child, he asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I ran through all the obvious choices. A cowboy man, a doctor man, a spy man, a hero man, an astronaut man. But there was always only one choice. I wanted to be you. So I blurted out my child's answer, a daddy. The adults laughed, not knowing how serious I was. I wanted to be the daddy my dad was. I wanted to love someone as much as he loved me. I still feel my 7-year-old hand in his as the camera clicks and captures our smiles. Me beaming, bursting with pride. This is my dad, my dad. Always his love everywhere around me, tangible and intangible, as when sound becomes music. Thank you.